This is what we do to children every day.
Kids are gonna walk around here and see these pictures.
I wish Christians had shown me this when I was your age. Why do we get so upset that Christians will show us to us, but that we don't get upset that this actually happens to children? Why?
Because that's just an uncooked chicken nugget.
Then why are y'all getting upset? If this is an uncooked chicken nugget, why is everyone upset? Not everyone, but why are people upset? Who cares, right? Who cares? If this is not a picture of a murdered child, was anybody here upset at all?
What if little kids see these pictures? You're gonna scar them. Do you care about them at all?
Yes, I do. That's why I'm here. Well, if it's a chicken nugget like he said, then why do you care? How can anyone be scarred by it? I mean,
It's gonna be Alabama in 10 years if you let them stop aborting babies.
No, that's nonsense.
It says it's a legal abortion.
It's okay to do this in New York. Did you know that? It's okay to do this to a child in New York.
Okay, then go to New York and protest.
Why? I'm here in Wisconsin because they're doing this to children this morning,
Okay.
and that needs to be stopped.
That's not this morning.
Yeah.
They didn't take that picture this morning.
No, I'm saying this is going to happen to children this morning,
Okay.
all across this nation here in Wisconsin,
Okay.
and we need to rise up and put an end to it. We need to end it.
Okay.
Little kids have seen this and they're not having a meltdown like you are.
What? Fucking
Man,
had abortion in your past. You need to
Is
get
that
out
your
of God.
wife? You're all useless human
rebellion.
He
beings.
doesn't have a wife.
Clearly.
Why isn't she over here? You guys
Because
are mad.
she wants to be
I
right
wanna hear
there.
what you have to say. I want to hear what she has to say.
She wants to be right there. She chose to be right there.
You do realize that everyone here considers you guys a giant meme. So if you're trying to make an influence, maybe go somewhere where we actually care.
We go all over the place, man.
Amazingly,
Clearly, I've seen your videos of laying down in the mall, causing a big ruckus for those. Yeah, no, they lay on the ground.
Well, think about this. Why is she getting so upset that this is a chicken nugget like he said?
Because that's not a chicken nugget.
she's
That's
vegan.
a sperm.
No, you're saying this is a chicken nugget right here,
That one's
right?
a chicken nugget.
So
That one's not
why
a
is she
chicken
getting so
nugget.
upset if this is a chicken nugget?
She's getting upset at that one. And you're showing
No.
children their
she was
food.
getting upset that
Yeah.
time.
People get upset at these signs because they know that these are murdered children.
That's intelligent. You have a better point of an argument?
You insulted my mother last time you were here, so fuck off, you
I doubt we did. We're not insulting.
fetus deletus.
That's what Harry Potter says.
Your mother should have swallowed.
You can all get right with God and turn to Jesus Christ. He can save you.
Jesus Christ doesn't exist to everyone.
Doesn't matter if you believe him or not. He died on the cross.
Pain doesn't exist.
You mean like the school system here is doing to your mind? I grew up in the public school system. I know what they do to people. They don't teach anything. They teach you God doesn't exist. They don't teach you anything worthwhile.
Yeah, because they teach
I know.
like stuff that's worth learning.
No,
Like
they don't.
evolution?
I went to public school. They don't teach a whole lot of stuff
Yeah,
that's
see what
worth.
that turned into.
No. Do y'all read a bunch? Do y'all read
What
anything?
school did you go to?
I went to a school in Kansas. Public high school.
What college did you go to?
Bob Jones.
Where's that?
It's in South Carolina.
Are you gonna record us without our permission?
So how is?
No, he can record us. That's his right.
Are you gonna act maturely this
Everyone
time?
else that was recording us, do they have to ask our permission? No. They still recorded anyway.
That's a ghetto
adults.
GoPro.
That's fucking
It's not a
different.
GoPro.
That's why I said it's a ghetto.
Will anyone here show compassion on these children being murdered, or are you all just full of mockers?
Yeah.
Maybe
No,
someone
I'm
here.
Dylan.
Maybe someone here will show compassion on these children,
No, they're not children. That's the thing.
or you can dehumanize them. No, ma'am, you know these are children. You know they are.
Oh shit!
They're not fully developed.
You can see. It doesn't matter. You're not fully developed.
So,
Clearly,
So should we murder
neither
you?
are
but I still have the brain that's capable of knowing what life is. That doesn't know anything.
There are people outside the womb who cannot comprehend everything. Should we murder them?
Yes.
Based on what?
Yes.
They can't know what
Based on
life
what?
is.
So so should we just murder
So
everybody?
if you are having a baby and you're pregnant,
Yeah.
and it attaches the cell into the wrong place in the
Ectopic is pregnancy.
yes.
The baby dies before they can.
Not always. It can also cause the woman to die. That's
Yeah.
what happened to my mom. So.
Yeah, oftentimes the baby is removed before it goes to the mother.
Okay, then that's an abortion, sir.
We're showing you the abortion holocaust happening on your watch.
And the baby died then.
They don't tear apart the child.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Take the child out in one piece.
We're bringing school to you this morning before your regular school starts. We're bringing public education to you this morning.
This is not public education.
We're bringing school to you this morning on the public sidewalk. We're educating you what the school will not educate you about. Basic human biology. That when a woman becomes pregnant, she's carrying a child. Life begins at the moment of fertilization.
I'm carrying a child. I have a ball sack. That's millions of
Says the
children.
school doesn't teach us anything.
No, that doesn't even make sense.
Do they
These-
sperm
Look,
cells?
you can see the child's arms and legs, feet, hands,
Butt!
and yet you'll still deny it's a child.
That's a butt.
My sperm cells have a tail.
Where's the head? There is no head.
The child's head was ripped off.
Exactly. It's dead.
Yeah, and this is what we do to children. So how can anyone here deny this
Why
is a
didn't you
child?
just show us a living baby? Why do you gotta be so
I am.
dark?
I'm showing you both. Right here.
That one's gonna die soon though, so.
No.
Yeah.
How do you know that? Are you like the smartest guy in the world?
No, I don't.
Exactly.
I don't claim to be.
Me either.
But I do know we're living in the midst of mass murder every day.
No, we live in Wisconsin.
Yeah, and mass murder is taking place this morning, every day in the
Where?
state,
Where's that?
in Milwaukee. And,
What?
Planned Parenthood and affiliated medical services.
Where's that?
Affiliated is on North Farwell Avenue.
Yeah, it was
Planned
right there.
Parenthood is on
I don't know where that
South
is.
Water. It's near the east side.
ask your faculty to tell you about the abortion Holocaust. Ask them, because they're not going to teach you about it. Because you live in a culture that supports doing this to children right here.
You live in a culture that supports making people cry and fucking hug other people.
You guys do know that there are ways to put signs out without pictures, right?
Nothing wrong
Now
with
one of my
what?
friends is crying because of one of your signs.
Well, that tells you that this is murder. Why would people cry this isn't murder?
Yeah.
Why would
Guess
people
what?
cry this wasn't a
Guess
human
what?
being, right?
There are things called words. Like, I was perfectly, like, I knew what you were doing when you came, and then now I saw these pictures, and come on, man.
What's wrong with the pictures?
If you came here without those, it'd be a lot better.
Why?
There's children. Would you say you had a newborn daughter?
I don't know if you're aware. There's an elementary school right down there,
No, we're not over there. We're here.
and over there.
We're here
Yeah,
at the
what
high
if the
school.
elementary kids got out?
We're not at the elementary school. We're at a high school.
You are the elementary
Yeah, and
kids.
there are parents that drive their kids by here, and they're seeing these pictures. And what do you think that's doing?
They're going to see them anywhere you go. There's going to be children everywhere you go in public places. You
Look,
can't
I'm
avoid
against
that.
abortion too.
Well, then you should support us being here.
It's very legit.
I'm against.
How hard are you trying to hide your southern accent?
Not hard at all. Why do you care? What's that got to do with anything?
Look, I'm against abortion too, but
Well, if you are, then why don't you support us doing this? Why don't you-
because you're showing pictures like this.
so why does that bother you? What's wrong with it?
What do you mean? What's wrong with that?
chicken nugget has blood on it.
Yeah.
You see that picture? Go
back to
fucking your cousin.
We need to stop this. We need to stop doing this to children. That's why we show it, so people will stop tolerating it. So people will wake up, hey, I'm living in the midst of a Holocaust. I need to do something about
Mad
it.
for the wrong reason.
Why is it making you mad?
Because you're showing pictures like that.
If you're anti-abortion, why does that make you mad?
There are ways to get your point across without showing pictures.
And there are ways. There are ways, and this is one way to do it. These pictures communicate a message that words will never communicate. People need to see what's happening in abortion mills to children.
You know, yeah, this is getting to me. But you know what? It's making me mad at you guys.
It should convict you, right? It should convict all of you that you're living in the midst of mass murder.
Hey, can you floss?
Yeah, and okay, so if you walked up to a school showing pictures of people that were shot or something, would that be the same thing?
You can if it's happening on a scale such as abortion. Yeah,
Hey, sir.
it should be
he's
shown.
trying to ride his bicycle.
There's
On the way.
a historical precedent for doing this.
Yeah.
The
and guess
people-
what? I'm sure people were mad then too.
Yeah, they were, but some people woke up.
And at this point, I'm just as mad at people that do this as I am at you.
Why?
Because why would you show pictures like this? Huh?
So people will wake up and realize we live in the midst of mass murder. We need to do something about it.
Yeah, but now one of my friends is crying, and it's because of you guys.
Well, maybe did she murder her child before? Maybe she's being
Because she
convicted.
saw that picture.
Yeah. So should we not do this because it hurts people? It upsets them emotionally. Should we not do it at all?
Okay, you shouldn't show those pictures.
So should we just allow abortion to continue indefinitely then?
So why are you doing that here? Why not at like a hospital or something?
Why go to a hospital and do this? We do. We go to abortion mills. We go all over the place.
Why would you out here?
Because it's a high school. You're learning.
People get pregnant at high schools.
People get pregnant at high schools and they murder their
Bitch,
children.
when was the last time somebody got pregnant at a high school?
Happens all the time.
In Waukesha.
I don't know, but I know it happens at high schools.
Oh, she came back.
I don't remember you having a uterus, genius. How is it any of your beeswax?
Because I'm a man.
If he's such a
Men,
pussy,
why do you need a uterus to speak up for
What,
children?
you think men are superior or some shit?
No, I never
It's
said
like, if you
that.
haven't noticed, I think most of us are more upset at you guys.
What's the point of
Why?
putting it on $1? There's no
If this isn't a human being, why are you so upset?
Because you're showing it on a freaking sign in front of a high school.
Do you have pictures of the Nazi Holocaust in your textbooks in there?
No.
You don't? Do you have any pictures of injustice? You probably do. So why show that in a textbook?
There's a picture
It's going
of
to offend
Danny
somebody.
DeVito.
Pictures is bad.
Do any of you watch movies at home or at Redbox or on your phone that show blood, gore, and violence? Probably some of
That's at
you.
our own will.
My mommy made me
So you watch it. So why get upset that we show us in public?
You know what's bad
Why?
is that
That's like
kindergartners
me
walk
walking up and playing a flat screen TV with midget porn.
There are people that take their kids, walk by here, or drive by here.
He was 4 when he first saw these signs.
Well, I feel bad.
He looks up
I feel bad.
You all are fucked up.
You need to clean up your language, sir. You need to wash your mouth out with soap.
And I'm not saying that abortion is right, but I'm saying that what's wrong is you guys showing pictures like this.
Why? Why is it wrong?
Have you seen the picture on your sign?
It
Yes.
wakes people up to the reality of it.
Yeah, it wakes people up. But now my friend is in there crying because of you guys.
I feel bad for her.
If you felt bad, you get rid of that sign.
I
No.
would like to talk to her. I'll bet that she had experience with her.
She probably has.
Burn out!
That's why she's crying.
She can deal with
You're
it.
missing the point.
I said
That
burn out,
that's
not
not the only
bastard.
reason why people would be upset by this. Honestly, I'm upset because that's a freaking bloody baby on that sign.
I know, it's upsetting to look at. I agree.
So then why would you put it up?
That's why we need to end it.
Look at,
So that
If-
people
Look at-
see
look
the
at-
reality of it because it's going on
One
behind closed
trimester.
doors. Nobody ever sees it.
2.
That's why we need to expose it in public. Because if we didn't do this, this would go on year after year after year. It'd never end. So we have to bring it into the public
girls
light so
a lot
people will
from that
stop
one to
it.
that one.
That's how.
I've seen you guys here before, and it didn't bother me as much then. I
Where's
look at
number
these signs
3?
now, and
Where's
you know
number
what? You know what
3?
bothers me more than anything? The fact that you're showing those signs so close
They're
to an elementary school.
practically.
We're not at an elementary school. We're in
So
front
then
of a high
they're
school.
born and then they're happy and they live.
Kids by here to
I have
their
not
school.
seen any kindergartners walk to the elementary school down there. I've not seen them walk past.
This is how injustices have ended before, because you bring the injustice out into the light. People see it and like, we need to stop this. They don't do that if you don't bring this out into the light. People need to see what they're allowing to happen behind closed doors. That's how abortion will be abolished, is because people see, hey, we're murdering children, we need to stop it.
You're missing the point. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how you're showing pictures this violent.
This what?
What?
Violent.
Yeah, it's so violent, we have to stop it. If it's so awful that we can't stand to look at it, maybe we shouldn't be tolerating it. Maybe we should stand up and stop it.
Are you all against
homosexuals?
You do?
Homosexuality is sin.
We have to block the photos.
Yeah.
And you are just
Why would you block it? Why would you block this? If this isn't a human being, why would
Because
you
it's
block it?
fucking disgusting.
It is disgusting. That's why we have to
It's
abolish it.
disgusting. You're at a high school.
That's why we have to stop it.
You're at a high school.
Yeah, we know.
Showing pictures like that is only going to make us
I've
mad at
never
you.
been to a high school before.
I'm homosexual.
Okay.
She's homosexual.
I'm bisexual. I'm bisexual.
Okay.
That just proves me right. There's only 2 genders.
He's bisexual.
would
This fool is hella gay. I mean, I don't know what you want to say, but like, we're not going to make kids anyway.
That's why I'm an atheist, and that's why we're all going to hell.
I'm a Satanist.
You don't have to go to hell. You can turn to Jesus Christ. He can save you.
Get the hell out.
He can save you.
No.
The Lord Jesus Christ can save you. He saved me. I grew up in the public school system, and then God saved me out of rebellion. I used to be in front of a TV and play video games all day long, and God saved me. He can do the same for you.
If you haven't noticed, most of the people here don't care. I'm the only one here who knows. And it's
You're assuming that.
because I honestly think you guys showing signs like this is bullshit.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
If you're anti-abortion, I would think you'd be glad that we're showing this here, not opposing us showing this.
I'm not
We're-
opposing. I'm opposing
Actually, you are.
showing signs like that.
Then you're opposing what we're doing.
Only because you made my friend. Now she's in there sobbing.
Maybe take it as an opportunity to talk to her. Maybe she's murdered a child or participated in it somehow. Talk to her.
You can't take it like that, okay? Because there are people.
It's for you.
There are people that are automatically going to be disturbed by that and not even read the signs. Have you thought of that?
Yeah, we need to be disturbed because this is what we're doing. This is very disturbing.
You see, all I see is the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see the words.
Okay.
So honestly, huh? No. So honestly, what it looks like to me.
Do you play Fortnite?
All I see is pictures. I don't see the words. That doesn't get the message across. All that shows is the pictures.
People need to see the pictures. They need to see what they're tolerating, what they're allowing to happen in their culture.
What's your YouTube channel?
Honestly,
That's my name.
What's your name?
Nicholas Hill.
Nicholas?
Yeah. You can ask Caden. He's been on my YouTube channel.
Who's Caden?
Guy over there. I don't know where he is, but he's been on my YouTube channel.
Who's God?
He's been on there.
That's Caden.
Yeah. He's been on my
Are
YouTube
you
channel.
against smoking pot?
I wouldn't endorse it.
Well, then why the fuck did God make it? Yeah, why did God make the world?
Why do you even ask that?
Why are they both asking?
If we're so upset about these signs, maybe we shouldn't be tolerating it. If these photographs are so awful to look at, maybe we shouldn't be tolerating it.
No, it's
Right?
you're awful to look at.
Right? If abortion is so awful to look at, maybe we shouldn't be allowing it to happen on our watch in Milwaukee.
Look at, sir.
If this is so awful to look at, maybe we shouldn't be tolerating it.
Gays can't be here. I am the gayest gay in all of gays. I'm so gay. God,
Wouldn't if you had compassion on these children?
if you look at
Any
the
one of
Bible,
you?
there's nothing. I've read the Bible 5 times.
If any of you have been involved in abortion somehow, God can forgive you. He can cleanse you.
I'm sorry, if you haven't noticed, no one does.
Get out of my
Well, you may not be, but some here are.
Why the fuck is it a thing? Where the fuck did it come up with? Who came up with it? I can't help but someone else.
If any of you have been involved in abortion in any way, Jesus Christ can cleanse that. He can forgive you.
They have the right to be here.
There is forgiveness in Jesus Christ and His blood that He shed. Jesus Christ can forgive you. If you're living the homosexual lifestyle, Jesus Christ can take you out of that. He can forgive you.
No one's listening.
He can make you a new creation like He did me. I used to be very selfish, living for myself, and God forgave me. He saved me by the blood of His Son. He can do the same for you. I grew up in the public school system like you all did, are growing up now, and God saved me out of that. I haven't always been a Christian. I used to be a pagan, a wicked, filthy pagan, and God saved me. And God can save you too. I wish that Christians had come to my high school doing this, and they never did. Then I would have seen I live in the midst of mass murder and I can do something to stop it. I wish Christians had done for me when I was in high school as we're doing for you today.
What exactly do you think you're doing for us besides, bothering us with these pictures?
Bringing you education. Bring you education on what's happening in your own culture.
Okay. Have you ever asked somebody if they know what abortion is and they said no?
I don't usually ask them what I just show it to them. I show them what abortion looks
You want
like.
to have a dance battle?
Most people know what abortion is. They deny it, but they know
Why would
it.
you be like, okay, we need to show this to people so
Do you want to
lighthearted about it?
Do you want a dance battle to see who gets to stay?
Wait, I don't think this is accurate. There's more than...
Five-year-old children will see this image and ask what happened to the baby. They understand, and they have compassion. It's adults that show no concern. They just don't. They just want you to take the signs away.
Because God made them that way, apparently.
No. Little children understand what's on this sign, and they have compassion. What happened to the
Because they're
child?
innocent, and then you show them shit like this, and you tell them, and they're
If I was a little kid and I saw that, that'd give me nightmares.
You assume
That's on the
that.
sign.
You assume that. He saw when he was 4 years old, and now he's standing up for these children. You're making a lot of assumptions.
I mean, I don't care.
You are. You're assuming this harms children. I've seen children that are very young that hold these signs themselves. They're not in mental institutions. They're not on antidepressants.
Well, you should be.
They're not. They're bothered that we do this to children, and they want to stop it.
Because if you haven't noticed, this has caused more of like a problem than it has a solution.
Wait, why'd you say?
Yeah, the solution is Jesus Christ.
Point to the live
No,
one.
I'm not talking about that. The solution is voting against right now. Hey! Right now. You should like this. The only thing this is
Josh, come here.
Have you noticed that?
Is it if it's stirring people up? That's good.
This. They don't make babies.
How many people are out here saying
If they're gay, they can't make babies.
It doesn't matter.
Therefore, you are wrong.
How many
Please
people
leave.
are out here saying I agree?
I've heard a couple people agree with us. But even if everyone disagrees with us, it doesn't mean that they're right. The fact is, you're living in a Holocaust, and most people don't care.
So I don't know why you guys have to act like immature little brats. They have the right to be here. No matter what. You can disagree with them, yeah, but they have the right to
I'm
be
not
here.
saying I disagree with them.
Actually, you're saying you disagree with what we're doing. What?
are. You just said you shouldn't be.
I mean, you don't like what we're doing, right?
I wasn't even talking. So, I mean, if you're gonna butt in on my conversations,
Because I'm gonna play this song.
What song is it?
Everyone.
Why are you opposing us being here? We're doing what
I'm
we're
not
doing.
opposing anyone.
Actually, you
The
are.
only thing I'm opposing is those fucking pictures.
Why?
Exactly. That's what you're doing.
Well, if you're anti-abortion, know that these signs have saved so many lives, and they're bringing an end to the abortion holocaust. People need to see what they're tolerating. Why wouldn't you support that?
What I don't support is those fucking pictures.
Well, do you want children to die? Children are saved through these images. I held a child in my arm a year ago because of images like this. That child would have been murdered if we didn't use images like this. Many children are saved because their mothers see these images and say, I cannot do that to my child.
All this is doing is making me mad at you guys. This isn't making me mad at, like,
We're coming back after
whoever does
school.
that. I mean, yeah.
You should be more angry at the abortionists for doing this to children than us for showing it
How
to
is this
you.
any different from people killing animals?
Because animals are not made in the image of God.
Are you gonna be here all day?
Animals are made by God, sir.
That's
So
sad.
they're made by God, but they're not made in His image. We're made in God's image. We're created in His image. That.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I love my cat more than my sister.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
I love my cat. She high fives.
But there is forgiveness for the sin of abortion. There's forgiveness for the sin of homosexuality. There's forgiveness.
Will God let me butt fuck him?
Shut up.
You need to have good flushing out of your mouth. You know that?
If I stick my pee-pee in God's butt, will baby be born?
No, but He can save you and to clean out your mouth. He cleaned out my filthy mouth. He can make you into a real man.
He said I can.
Like He did me.
He said I can.
I used to be a little immature
There
boy.
are little kids walking over here right now.
Yeah.
Oh, now they are. Yeah, that's the first kids that I've seen. Well, I can't see these images from that.
Is anyone out here pro-choice? Anybody at all?
You see what you're doing right now?
Is nutting in your mouth considered abortion?
Looking at what you're doing.
We're not even showing these pictures to them right now.
And you think that's a good thing?
I think it's a good thing that these pictures are shown in public so we stop tolerating it.
Am I allowed to masturbate?
How much does it bother you that this is going to happen to children this morning?
I wish it happened to me.
How much does that bother you?
How much does it bother you? This is making me mad.
Answer the question. How much does this bother you that this will happen to children this morning?
Not at all.
I asked you this.
It's not a child.
How
It's a chicken nugget.
I asked you, can you talk normally, please?
I am. I asked you a question.
I am.
How much does this bother you that this will happen to thousands of children today across this nation? How much does that bother you?
I don't believe in God.